Hi friends, Miss Jen, OT here to tell you today about part 2 of our dirt therapy series, gardening with what you have at home. So since we can't go anywhere, we might as well use what we got. So, and it's also Earth Day week. So since we're talking about the earth and reduce, reuse, and recycle, this is a great thing that you can do with the kids to work on helping out our planet by reusing some of the things we have at home. So today we're going to talk about regrowing lettuce plants, growing carrot tops, growing from seeds that you might have had from maybe even last year, and some dry beans. So let's see what we can do. Join me. This is the lettuce that we planted. We just took that bottom part off and planted it in the water, and actually every day we've seen growth. This surprisingly has done really well. I cut it flat, so anything sticking up has been new growth. Pretty cool. So let's talk about growing a carrot top. Now, one little thing is that we can't actually regrow a carrot from a cutting, but we can grow the top of the carrot, and actually those green sprigs that come off the carrot top is actually edible. But it actually makes a really neat plant, so that's what we're actually going to do today. We're going to cut off about 1.5 inches I'm going to leave in there. It doesn't have to have this top. I found this one in there. I just decided to use it. You can cut it off where there's like no top on it. Just make sure that the carrot is relatively healthy and not dried out. So, and then afterwards, easy enough, we're actually just going to put it in water. So let's see what it looks like. All right, so I have my carrot cut. I have a little container. This was recycled from a yogurt container I had. You could see it in there. I'm going to pour some water in there, but I'm not going to cover it up. You see, I only put it in the bottom. So I'm going to go put this in a sunny window. You're going to want to change the water out about every 3 days because it'll start to get a little yucky in there. One thing you can do too is, I have this rest of this carrot. If you had a jar, you could actually put a bigger piece in and have it stick out of the jar. You can do that as well. And we'll come back and see what it looks like in a couple weeks when it starts to grow. All right, let's move on. Now we're going to talk about growing from seeds. This seed packet is a little bit older. I'm not sure what my germination rate is going to be, but I'm going to try anyway. It's just a fun science experiment, and if we get a little root system, then maybe we can plant it. So I'm actually going to take out a couple of the seeds. This is a sunflower seed. So I want you to see, it's kind of a mix of sunflower seeds. And I have a paper towel. I am going to actually fold the paper towel. This actually works really well with seeds like cucumbers, and you can actually later plant them in your garden and have a nice cucumber plant and produce some cucumbers this summer. But we're going to try it with what we have. So since I have sunflowers, I'm going to put this inside the Ziploc bag. Okay, the paper towel actually folds really nicely and fits really good. This is a sandwich bag, and I just folded it up and put it in there. Now I'm going to use my sprayer, and I'm just going to wet the paper towel down really nicely, and then I'm going to seal it up. Okay, you can see I sprayed it down. It's not like drenched in water, but it's wet enough. And I'm going to actually tape this. I have a piece of tape, and I'm going to tape it right to my sunny window. If I notice that it's getting dry, I'm just going to spray it down again. And then we're going to check this out in a couple weeks and see what kind of growth we have. All right, let me go do it. All right, so there it is in my windowsill. We'll see what happens in a few weeks. Let me know if you do this too, and if you get any growth. I'd love to know what kind of seeds you used. All right, let's move on. Another thing you can do at home is to germinate some of your own seeds from dry beans. These are dried lima beans. These actually came from my garden, but a lot of moms and dads have some dried beans in their cupboards or their cabinets in the kitchen. I am going to start to germinate it or help it to grow some roots by sticking some cotton. Now you can use cotton balls. I have little cotton pads here. I'm going to put those into my jar. This is going to help the seeds to stay nice and wet. So I put it down in there. Now this is a little tiny jar that I use. This had spices in it, right? It had cinnamon. But when we were done with the cinnamon, I kept the jar to use for something else. So now I'm going to use it to germinate seeds or help them to grow roots so I can plant them. So here are my seeds. I'm going to put 4 in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to cover it up with more cotton. Now my jar is full. I'm going to add some water. And the water, you can see it's going down inside and the cotton is swelling up because it is sucking up all the water. Let's add a little more. Great. Now I'm going to put a lid on because I want to trap the water inside so that the seeds don't dry out. All right, we'll check back on these in a little while and see what happens. All right, so I had these, I bought these just from the Acme and have them in my cabinet for some soups and whatnot. I'm not sure if these will germinate. I am going to try it. One thing about beans is that often some of our foods are radiated, and it sounds terrible, but it's a way that they get rid of insects and they stop mold from happening or bacteria, which helps with foodborne illnesses too, with reducing that. So a lot of times if they're not going to germinate. These here are actually lima beans, and they're from my garden. I took them last year, and they're organic, so I'm hoping that I'll get some growth from these. But I am going to try both of them just to see. Now, I just put these in the jar. We just talked about that in my last video. And I'm going to, they're sealed up, and I'm putting them in a sunny place, and I'm going to see what happens with them. All right, and I'm also going to do the same thing with the Great Northern beans and see if these do anything. Now again, these are in a package that I got from the Acme, so we'll see whether or not these will germinate. All right, wish me luck. Okay, so I took 4 of the beans out of this, and I'm going to wrap them in a paper towel. The last one I did was the cotton. I'm going to wrap these into a paper towel and put it inside this little jar and spray it down really good so it's nice and wet. All right, it's soaked all the way through. Now, let's put the top on and we're going to both put them out and see. So again, this one is organic lima beans, and this one's the Great Northern beans, and we'll see what happens with both of them. All right, wish me luck.
Hi friends, thanks for joining me with gardening this week. If you try any of these projects and you have success, I want to hear about it. Make sure that you message me about all the awesome things that you're doing. All right, have a great day. Bye. Until next time.